In this video, I will give you 5 lessons that will help you beat 98% of producers. Understanding these lessons helped me go from a bedroom producer to a top 2% producer with over 127 million streams and 9 records on the Spotify top 50 charts. I'm not saying this to brag, but I'm saying this to show that these lessons helped me, and my hope is that they will help you too. Now, lesson number 1 is that volume makes you lucky. Inconsistent results come from inconsistent or low amounts of input. Let's do an A-B example. So producer A, he makes 5 beats a day. Producer B makes 1 beat a day. Producer B gives himself 5 times the opportunities to make a good beat. Because we can't always control the output, but what we can control is the amount of effort and work that we actually put in. Now, when producer A makes 5 beats a day, perhaps not all of them will turn out good, but he gives himself 5 shots at goal because he's giving himself 5 opportunities to make a good beat. Because he's sitting down and creating 5 times, compare that to producer B who only makes 1 beat, whereas producer A has 5 chances to make something good. And that makes it more likely that producer A in the long run will make more good beats than producer B. And if producer A has more good beats, he has more good beats to send out, which then leads to more opportunities to get placed. Now let's keep going with producer A. Producer A, he understands volume, so he sends 50 DMs a day. Producer B, he sends 5 DMs a day. Producer A has 10x the placement opportunities compared to producer B. Because each day, producer A gives himself 50 shots at goal. Producer B gives himself 5. And because of that, producer A has 10x the placement opportunities compared to producer B. So think of it like this. If you had unlimited shots at goal, would you not score? When you do a high amount of volume, it's almost impossible to not succeed eventually, just because you're giving yourself unlimited shots at goal. You can be the worst person ever, but if you send out 50 DMs a day, that's 350 DMs a week. That's 350 opportunities to get a response and to send stuff out. Compare that to producer B who only has 35 opportunities. Producer A is putting himself in a position to get lucky. Because sure, there is an element of luck to this. You need to hit it off with the right person, you need to make sure that you get the response, and you need to make sure that they actually like your stuff enough to use it. However, if you do enough volume, that luck becomes inevitable, because if you send out 350 new messages each week, the likelihood that at least one of them will work is so much higher. So you're creating your own luck by doing massive amounts of volume. Now for context, I've sent thousands and thousands of DMs, and I've made over 3,000 beats, and only a few of them became records, and even fewer of them managed to get on the charts. And that is why simply doing more than 98% of producers will give you more than what 98% of producers actually get back. Now lesson 2 is to personalize, and personalize everything from DMs to beat packs. The effort is appreciated. Most producers aren't willing to put in the effort to do so, and that will make you stand out. So do your research on the people that you connect with. Look at their Instagram page, see if they have a recent placement or a release that you can mention in your first message. See if they recently achieved something that you can mention in the first message. Just taking 30 seconds to a minute to actually look at somebody's page and take the extra effort to make a personalized message can take you far. Just crafting a personalized message, congratulating a producer on a recent placement makes a huge difference. It's far more genuine and will help you actually build a real working relationship. Just sending a message to an artist mentioning a specific song of theirs with a genuine personalized compliment will allow you to start building a working relationship. And it doesn't just have to be personalized compliment. It can be anything where you stand out and you show that you're taking your time to research the person and that you're there and ready to provide value to them. So instead of sending out messages like, yo, your shit's hard, let's collab, just like everybody else is doing, I started saying things like, hey man, I listened to your work with artist and I loved specific song. I got melodies in that style for you, where can I send them through? In the second message, you show intention and you show that you put in just 30 seconds of effort to actually provide them with something valuable. And the same thing goes for beat packs. Custom beats that are a perfect fit for an artist will always be just a random pack. So before sending out a pack, just spending 10 minutes listening to the artist's songs, figuring out what kind of style they want, what they would sound good on, then either making beats or selecting beats that would work for that artist will give you massive benefits on the back end, because they're far more likely to use the beats and pick them. If you're a producer and you find these lessons helpful and you want to learn more about producing full time and beating 98% of producers, I have a free community just for people like you. I'm in here every day helping out for free. People are getting wins, people are selling beats. There's a bunch of resources for producers. We're doing one free feedback call a week to help you improve your networking and your beats. If that at all sounds like something that would be helpful, you're very welcome to join, and the link's going to be in the description. Lesson 3 is to become a producer and not just a beat maker. Beat makers are common nowadays. Producers who can actually bring a full song to life are rare. Most of the success I had came from locking in with artists and making songs. All of the records that have made bigger numbers all came from me locking in with an artist and making a full song. Now, the way I go about making full songs is that first of all, you make a custom beat with a vision in mind. So you make a custom specific tailored beat for the artist that you think the artist would sound good on and that you think would make a good song with the artist. Then, if you can, you get in the studio and you help them write the lyrics. You help them come up with top lines, you help them come up with melodies. Perhaps you even go in the booth and you rap over it to show them what can be done on the record. Then you're in the studio and you guide the session by recording them, doing multiple takes, helping them get the best out of their performance. Then once you've done that, you tailor the production to fit their vocals, you mix the record, and you master it. Sometimes you are not the one that has to do all of these things. Sometimes you might not be the one that mixes and masters, because you will be able to understand the engineer better than the artist, and you make sure that you as the producer bring the artist's vision to life. The main thing I learned here is to view each artist as a collab, where you both are collaborating with the sole purpose of making the best song that you possibly can make. And speaking of collaboration, lesson 4 is to be a good collaborator. Being a good collaborator alone will help you get ahead of 98% of producers. Most producers aren't good collaborators, and the bar is super low. By just responding fast, making revisions, and not letting your ego get in the way of making a good song, you'll be far ahead of most producers. Now, an example of this is producer A. Someone asks him for beats, it takes a week to get them. He hasn't made custom beats, so they're not exactly what the artist wants. Then they make a song, they want to make revisions to the production and the song. Revisions take time. The producer starts arguing about the revisions. The artists have to wait, it's not a good experience, and because of that, producer A will not get any more work. They will stop working with producer A because it was difficult to work with him. Now, producer B sends the beats within a day max. He then makes revisions fast. He's not arguing about the revisions. He's putting his ego aside, and his main focus is to make the best song possible. He's easy to work with, and that's going to be a way better experience, and he's going to get more work. So by just being easy to work with, you'll get way more work, and you'll have artists come back to you over and over and over again. And the last and final lesson is lesson 5, which is to follow up and stay consistent. The first beat pack that you send is rarely going to become a release. I can tell you that from my own experience. Just because the first send out failed to become a release doesn't mean that it's over, but most producers, they miss this. None of the records I have on the charts came from the first send out. They came from the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, sometimes even the 6th or 10th send out. There's a lot of things that needs to get right in order for your beat to get placed, and it's not very likely that you'll get all of those things right on the first try. So once you do have a connection with somebody, ask them for references to figure out exactly what they want, follow up with more beats, and keep on sending. Because the real goal is found in the follow-ups, not in the first send out. And these are the 5 lessons that help me get ahead of 98% of producers, and I know that if you take action on these and you implement these, it will help you get ahead too.